everyone, and welcome back. So teachers, you've probably started looking at your calendar and you've noticed there's not a lot of days of summer left. I know I've looked at mine, and when I calculate all the trainings, I only have 2 days to be in my classroom, set it up, and be ready. And especially first year teachers, you're probably freaking out because you have no idea what your classroom is and your principal says you can't be let in until next week. Take a deep breath, don't worry. I've got 5 tips for new teachers and teachers who want to maximize their time once they get back into the classroom. Tip number 1. Make a classroom plan, like a blueprint. Think of things that you definitely want inside your classroom. There are some things that all classrooms have. Most all classrooms have a class library, have a teacher area, have a small group area. Make a list of things that you definitely want in your classroom. Then on your blueprint, kind of space out and figure out where you would want things. You can also create a checklist, so right when you get inside your room, you can check off areas and know exactly where you want to put them. I always bring sticky notes with me, and even in my classroom now that I've been in for a year, and I put class library and I stick it where I want it. Teacher area, and I kind of stick it where I want it. You may also want to keep in mind what kind of furniture you still want in there. Most classrooms come with a teacher desk. I know our classrooms come with a bookshelf, and then of course, student desk and chairs. That's another thing. You may want to think about, are you the type of teacher that wants their students in groups, in threes? Have a plan in mind so when you get into your classroom, all you have to do is look at your checklist, put those areas up, and then start moving your furniture in. Tip number 2. Start creating all your beginning of the year sheets and meet the teacher sheets right now. Things that I create before school starts are my student information sheet. This is what parents fill out with phone numbers, emails, maybe a student survey that they fill out based upon their student with questions like, how does your student like to learn? What are your students' interests? How do they feel about school? Create those things right now. Those are things that you really don't need student names for to make. If you know your schedule, you can also create your sheet for your students that has a schedule on it so their parents can take at Meet the Teacher. You may also want to create a sheet that has information about you. I know I started 2 years ago, just a teacher information sheet. It tells who I am, how many years I've been teaching, what schools I went to, what grades I've taught, and a picture of me and things that I like. Create all those things now. Creating those things now gives you more time once you get in your classroom to just worry about setting things up and not stuck on a computer all day long. Tip number 3. Come up with a color scheme or theme for your classroom. Every year, the theme in my room changes. I am a theme person. Some people just like to keep the same bright colors every single year, but figure out what you want to do now. So you can start looking on Teachers Pay Teachers or on Pinterest, or even creating your own desk name tags, cubby tags, things that you know you want to decorate your room with. I also start looking for banners with my specific theme on it and posters that I may want to purchase from TBT, and I start printing those out now, laminating, cutting, and making them so once I get into my classroom, all I have to do is put them up. That's a really big tip. I know at our school we only have 2 color printers, and once those printer ink runs out, it runs out. So you'll see teachers, the first thing they do once they get in at the beginning of the year, they go and they print things out. So if you know you can't afford ink at home, or you want to keep your ink at home for yourself, that's something you may want to do as soon as you get in. Don't worry about decorating, don't worry about setting things up, just go into the computer lab right away, start printing out those things. You may also want to laminate them. I have my own laminator here at home that has a really thick, it's a Scott's laminator, and has that really thick film. Now that summer is starting to, die down, we're not going on trips, I'm kind of just sitting at home on this, watching TV. While I'm watching TV, I can cut out my laminate and do those things, so I'm not doing that once I get home from those very first few weeks and a few trainings. When I first started teaching, I remember my very first year, there was so many posters and things that I wanted to put in my room, and I didn't know until that first week. So I spent, I think, literally every single day coming home, and my parents were helping me cut out laminate every single night. So I don't advise teachers to do that, especially new teachers. Do that ahead of time, do that before that first week, so when you get home you can rest, because you're gonna need it for that very first day. You may also want to caution yourself and don't overbuy things. Sometimes you look on Pinterest or TPT and posters are so cute, or there's a math poster set that you really, really like. I really caution teachers, don't buy that right away, because you may go that first week and your team has things to share. Or you may go to a training and that's maybe something you don't like. So be very cautious of things you buy, or ask teammates that you know of, or ask maybe your principal, or these are things that you may want to purchase because you don't want to waste your money on things you won't use. Tip number 4, buy everything that you could possibly think you need, buy it now, for 2 reasons. The first reason, buy your bins, buy your supplies, buy your bookshelves, your rugs, buy everything you need before you go in that first week, because you don't want to be stuck making Walmart runs, Target runs, when you should be in your classroom. Yes, there may be a couple of things that you realize you may need and you have to go back to the store, but you want to be in your classroom from the time that it opens to the time you can possibly stay until, and you want to get some rest when you go home. The second reason I say buy everything now, especially school supplies like scissors and crayons and markers, because parents will start buying those supplies and things for their children once it gets closer to the school year actually starting, and you may be left with not enough crayons, not enough scissors that you wanted. Those things at the store may be all gone, and most of the good deals happen now. I know if you're in Texas, there is a weekend that is a tax-free weekend. You can save a little bit of money when you go and buy those certain supplies like crayons and markers and things you don't have to pay taxes for. So that may be something you want to look for. Also, coupons, Office Max has really good deals on 5-cent things, penny things. You may want to look for those things. But this tip is really for first-year teachers or anybody who wants to reorganize their class library. I would suggest organizing your class library, getting all those brand new, pretty, beautiful color bins that you bought, and organizing all that stuff at home. Get all the books that you have, especially if you're a new teacher, they're probably sitting in your garage. Organize those things now, because what will happen is you'll go to school and I guarantee you'll spend about a day just organizing your classroom bins. Really, really like is the letter classroom. There she has her classroom organized, her classroom library organized by genre, and she got rid of the bins. All she has is the books just on the shelf, and she color codes them, and there's a color that goes with each genre. And I did this before the school year ended and I had my kids help me, but all you do is you slap on a label to the spine of the book and you just keep the colors together. Especially if you're in the upper grades and upper elementary grades, that's maybe something that you want to go towards instead of bins. Tip number 5. And I think is the most important tip. Take time to get to know your team, whether it be send them a text, make a phone call to your team leader or some members of your team, meet up for coffee, meet up for lunch. Get to know them really well, because these are the people that are going to be your support guide. They are going to be the people who are going to really, really help you once that school year gets started. And you're probably going to see them more than you see the people at your house. So get to know them, reach out to them. If it's just a simple hello, start creating those relationships now, because they will really help you once the school year gets started. These are some of the things that I've done over the years to maximize the amount of time that I have once I get back into my classroom. You're going to have trainings all week long, you're going to have meetings, there's not going to be a lot of time in your classroom. And for first year teachers, that's the thing that they really, really are surprised by, how much little time you have in your classroom. So whether it be putting labels on your cubbies, whether it be printing out some posters and cutting them out, or the most important thing, getting all those papers ready for Meet the Teacher, you'll thank yourself later for doing them now in the very last few days of summer than trying to cram it in and getting stressed out that very first week back. And like I said before, you want to try to get as much rest as you can at night. I know it's hard, but the more rest you get at night means the more rest you're going to have for the first day of school, and everyone needs rest on the first day of school. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and have a great school year.